Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. All of my SoFi stock investors, you guys know what time it is. We got to get into a SoFi stock update, and SoFi was down about 5% today. What happened? What's the news? What's the data looking like? That's what we are going to get into here in this video. If that is something you want to be a part of, each and every time these videos come out, hit that subscribe button. In the meantime, hit the like button and get yourself those free stocks down below in the description. When you sign up for Moomoo, deposit $1, you will get 3 free stocks instantly, as well as an additional free share of NEO once your $1 deposit clears. So without any further ado, let's get into it. We're going to keep this video nice, short, and sweet, straight to the point. And the biggest set of news, and really the only part of news that you guys need to know, is this video. And I know there's a little bit of echo with this video, so just bear with me here. This is definitely pretty startling, so let's give it a quick listen.
So the average citizen, look at how they're stepping up. Look at how they're stepping up. And you're going to see when you're there. Some of you have been there.
He says, so you're going to see when you're there, talking to U.S. troops about potentially going to Ukraine. This would be a huge escalation, and who knows if Biden meant to say this, if it's an intelligence leak or if it's just mumbo jumbo. That's up to you guys to decide here, but they've been talking about a nuclear strike or a chemical weapons attack, and Biden just said the other day that that would trigger a response from America. Now, who knows what it is? I'm not trying to be a warmonger here, but this was definitely definitive, and you have a lot of people talking about it. So how will that affect the markets? Well, I think it goes without saying, if we go into Ukraine, it's going to cause the markets to drop dramatically. No other way to put that. It is going to crush the markets. It's not really something that we have been expecting, and the markets certainly have not been pricing that in. I also want to acknowledge a little bit of the fear that we are still seeing. And it's kind of crazy if you guys really think about it. Apple, look at this. A 9-day positive streak. This is a record, I do believe, for Apple stock. And why is this such a fear move? Well, it's a lot of people that want exposure to some growth, but Apple is seen as probably one of the safest stocks, if not the safest stock in the tech sector. So when people start to flood into Apple at this pace, you have to pay attention to that. You have to pay attention to the fear that is going on in the markets. Now, I'm still watching the bonds to see if something does escalate with that, and if the bonds do start to go up. It's not looking to be the case right now. So you're not really getting an indication of, you know, something crazy is going to happen. But we did have that 2% move about 2 days ago in the bonds, and the way you guys can look at it, when these go up, that means fear is starting to be priced into the markets a little bit more. Why? Because people like to rush into safe assets when there is a lot of uncertainty. So let's go ahead, take a look at SoFi stock for the day, and we did close at $9.01. Really still a big consolidation move in here. We're still up a lot from these lows at $7.74 per share. That was the low that we did hit, but still not able to break out above $10 per share. And if we pull up the Bollinger Bands and the 20-day simple moving average, we are still getting rejected on this 20-day simple moving average almost day after day. So who knows over this weekend if we get some positive news. That's going to be good. Not too much actually came about with the Russia-Ukraine negotiations. They're saying they're still far off, that Ukraine doesn't want to give any land to Russia. They don't want to make any specific compromises. And that's what Russia is really going for here. And NATO's estimates are Russia has lost 15,000 troops so far. It's unsustainable for Russia to continue fighting this war as far as manpower is concerned, and economically they can't keep fighting this. So that's going to be a bullish catalyst when that inevitably does happen and that does end. But in the meantime, if you see escalation, you're definitely going to see that weighing on the markets. I want to watch Apple here to see. It looks like we should get a move down pretty substantially here in the next week or so. But if Apple keeps going, then this is just going to show you the level of fear that is still in the markets is pretty pretty crazy. Now, as far as SoFi and the short interest, the short data, you're looking at 17.52% short interest of free float. Cost bar max of 4.33%. Current shares that are sold short of 126.28 million. Share utilization is 100%, and the days to cover is sitting at almost 3. So not too much has actually changed here. Still goes without saying, shorts have to buy back those positions to get out of them, and the insiders continue to load up on SoFi stock, which is a huge bullish indicator that, hey, SoFi stock is probably going to do well here in the short term and midterm future. So as far as the option flow sentiment, you are looking at 7 orders totaling $1.62 million, positive order value of 42%. So things pretty neutral for the day as far as that is actually concerned. And if we go ahead, go to the max Payne for SoFi stock for next week, again, the maximum amount of money people that are buying options will lose. That is sitting at $9.50 per share, so indicating somewhat of a flat week to come for next week. And the federal funds rate, the Fed rate monitor tool, is pricing in a 72.7% chance to see a 50 basis point rate hike. That's a 0.5% rate hike. Now, some stocks like SoFi, this has already been priced into the stock, and that's why you're rallying back in the way that they are. This is really a short covering kind of rally. This is not, I repeat, not a fundamental change in the markets. Nothing has changed. In fact, the situation has gotten much worse. So I would be very, very careful with the moves that you guys are making here in this market. Right now, we're not out of the woods. Like I said, things have actually gotten much worse since we were at these levels. 415 on the S&P. Now we're at 452 on the S&P, but nothing has fundamentally changed. When the situation does fundamentally change and get better some way, shape, or form, then that's when you can feel more comfortable with this rally that we are seeing. But the weekend is going to bring some kind of new details, maybe escalation, maybe de-escalation, and that's what the markets are going to react to on Monday. And SoFi stock will benefit to any de-escalation for one, but we do have CPI data, which is the measure for inflation, that is coming out April 12th, and that's going to be the next big catalyst that will either help or hurt SoFi stock. So that is really what you guys need to know. We are in a bear market rally as we currently speak. These can last within a couple day period or a couple of weeks, but it is a dead cat bounce or a sucker rally. So do not be the sucker here in this situation. And as far as SoFi, on a more broad technical look, the RSI is at 41.27, so approaching that oversold level. Under neutral still, which neutral is 50, we're at 41, so we have a lot of room to go to the upside before we do get to those overbought levels. This consolidation move, slight move down, has really been a relaxation to a lot of these data points, so that's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, something to just keep in mind. The MACD is still bullish with this gap that is starting to widen. $10 is going to be the key level. Watch that downside potential at about $8 per share. I don't think we're going to go back down there unless we do see the markets take a big move down. Doesn't look very likely in my personal opinion unless we get some kind of new information. Then again, the markets are acting very irrational right now, and you are seeing TLT up a little bit here in after hours. That would be a slight fear indication move as well. So that is pretty much going to be all for this video. Not too much else as far as news to bring to you guys. The biggest thing was what young Biden said over in Poland today. Nothing else really. So that's going to be all. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.